And welcome back to Comic Frontline, everybody. I am Brant Feller, aka the Gonzogoose, back with another important comic book review. This time I'm talking about a book from Valiant called Harbinger Renegade #1. And there's a lot of credits for this book, so let me just get through them. The introduction is written by Rafer Roberts, art and lettering by Raul Allen and Patricia Martin, prologue writer Rafer Roberts, art by Juan Jose Rip, colors by Frankie D'Amrata, letters by Dave Lanphier, main story, also Rafer Roberts writer, penciler Derek Robertson, inker Richard Clark, colors Diego Rodriguez, and letters Dave Lanphier. Covers, there's a bunch of cover artists. I'm not going to take the time to name them all. There were a bunch of variant covers for this. So, all right. So this book kind of follows the whole Harbinger saga that has been going on pretty much since Valiant relaunched. Um, the beautiful thing about the way that this book is constructed, because it does have that intro and that prologue. If you didn't read the entire Harbinger series and you haven't kept up with some of the other stuff that's gone on after that, with the Harbinger Wars and with Fates series and so on and so forth, this introduction, it really kind of takes you back and tells you everything that's happened up to this point, and then you get a prologue that sets the tone for what's going to happen in the Harbinger side of the Valiant universe from this point for the next couple of years. So it's really cool in that way, because it gets you all caught up, and then it kind of teases for something in the future, and then you get the main story that's taking place in this book, which is about the Harbinger Renegades coming back together to face a new threat. And I'm not going to go into the whole history. You guys can read the introduction for yourselves if you'd like to know what all took place. Basically, all you need to know is there was this evil corporation that they had a way to unlock Psiot's abilities, which is stuff like telekinesis, telepathy, things like that. But it was a very brutal way, and most people that they tried to unlock died. And they had a group of kids rebel against them, led by Peter Stanchik, a former drug addict, but he's very powerful and he can unlock Psiot's abilities without harming them. 100% success rate, and they kind of catch you up on all that. The prologue it introduces us to another character, his first appearance, and talks about how he was Toyo Harada's right-hand man for a while, and then now they're at odds, of course, and now that Toyo Harada, which was the leader of the Harbinger Foundation, is out of the picture, this guy can come into power, and he has his own agenda, which we'll learn over time. So the main story really focuses on what's left of the Renegades. If you guys have followed Faith and the Harbinger Wars and any of that stuff, you know that they kind of split up. Peter kind of went off on his own. Chris went off on her own. Faith is the only one that kept superheroing, and she got her own series, and she's doing that thing. If you guys have not read Faith, you need to, because it's fantastic. And Torque has a reality show, so he's doing his thing. He's not interested. So basically, what this story is about is it's a group of Psiots who feel like they have a way to unlock other Psiots' abilities too, but as we see in this book, that doesn't always go so well either. And on the other side of things, the NSA is getting involved, and they want to lock this down. And so you got these two warring sides, and you don't know who's the right side to be on. And they're both going after this kid who is apparently on this publicized list of potential Psiots. And so the Renegades are trying to come back together, what's left of them, and they try to recruit Torque. He's not interested. They try to recruit Chris. She's not interested. Faith gets involved. So Faith is in this book, and she's at the forefront of it, and she's trying to convince everybody that this is what we need to do. And so it's really the Renegades are going to be the kind of the in the middle team that kind of saves all these Psiots. That is what it seems like, but it's going to develop into this larger plot with this new character that we were introduced to. And then as we learn in the back of the book, Harbinger Wars 2 is coming down the line. So everything's going to lead up to that. We get a little hint at where Peter is right now, and if he's going to come back into the story, which, obviously eventually he will. But I thought it was a fantastic introduction to, or reintroduction to these characters, and was done well as an introduction if you're coming in cold for this whole side of the Valiant universe. If you don't know anything about Harbinger and the Renegades and Faith, you get enough here to get to grasp what they're all about and what this story is about. I thought it was really well constructed. You're building a new team of Renegades up to take on the new threat, whatever that may be. The art, the prologue. Personally, I've never been the hugest fan of Juan Jose Ript's style. I know he's a very known artist, and a lot of people are fans. It's a little too, I don't know what the word. It's a little too, not muddy, but I don't know. He puts a lot of texture and detail into his artwork, and I'm not personally a fan of that. But it's not bad art by any stretch of the imagination. Derek Robertson's art, some of his facial close-ups, personally could have been a little bit more fleshed out. It felt like just inks with some light color splashes over it. But overall, I thought the art was decent throughout the entire story. The introduction art was really nice. It was in a different style, more like a political kind of courtroom, kind of, not courtroom, but it's a very different style than you see in the book, which was an interesting contrast. But overall, the art was decent. The dialogue was fantastic. Each one of these characters stood out as a separate character throughout the entire book. You didn't find any any overlap. They didn't all mesh together as just one voice. It was all these different voices and personalities and problems that they were dealing with and how they dealt with them. Excellent writing throughout. I thought this was a fantastic introductory issue. So I'm going to give this one a 4.25 out of 5. I thought it was a fantastic first issue. So I think you guys should check it out. And check out everything else Valiant's putting out, because they do put out some excellent books. So 4.25 for Harbinger Renegade #1 from me. Check out all the other content here on Comic Frontline. I will have at least one more review up this week, so just stay tuned for that. Tune in to Dark Avenger Live tomorrow night, Friday night, as myself and Lisa will be on there. Lisa will be live inking Celestial Falcon. Check out lastnumberpress.com, zone4podcast.com. The live shows on Tuesday nights right here on Comic Frontline. Until next time, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next video.